Hey everybody, happy hot summertime. This is the Double Stuff Podcast, and we're double the hosts, double the topics, double the fun, and I'm Sarah.
I'm Charity.
Alan here.
And I'm Sweaty. I'm Dan.
Sweaty Dan. That's gonna be his name for the next 10 episodes.
Oh, good. I'm glad I did that. That was
Your
good.
arms down, man.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, summertime is officially, actually, because it's Kansas weather, summertime's been around for a while.
Oh, yeah.
But since it's June, it's official on the calendar. So we thought maybe to keep you guys cool, we'll have some summer-related topics, cool topics. Refreshing topics. So we figure we'll just start really random. We're going to do some summer-related things. So my first topic is going to be talking about our hotel experiences.
Oh.
Good, bad, or indifferent. And the ugly. So, and it is summer because everybody's going on vacation, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of people traveling, staying at hotels and stuff. So I kind of wanted to hear, have you guys have any good, bad experiences staying at hotels or even motels if you want to pull it
Oh,
out?
yeah. I've run the spectrum in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the very, very nice to
The very, very
Not
nice.
so very nice.
we're not even going to unpack our things. we're leaving right now.
I've had that
and,
one.
and
Yep.
going to the next
We've had that
going to
one.
the next town. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We've had our fill of
It's
that, too.
It's I don't want to talk disparagingly about the entire chain. It could have just been this particular hotel, but yeah.
Smitherton's Hotel.
Smitherton
Oh
Hotels,
my gosh.
yeah.
Yeah. Terrible. Oh, and I'll keep going.
I thought
You
were gonna
told us.
tell
I thought
the
you were going to
story.
tell us
I
about
thought you had
either
a-
the
I thought you had
terrible
a
or the really
story.
good.
All right. So we're on a vacation.
Okay.
We're in the town where the vacation is going to happen, and we have some family that's in the town, and the carpet crunches when you walk in.
no,
you know,
no
and
good.
it's old, and it's orange and brown, and I think there's a reason why it might not have even started out as orange and brown.
Oh.
Well, this is from the 70s. That's kind of the color palette from
Yeah.
the 70s.
So it was, and it's got the old veneered like wood panel walls, you know.
yeah.
But it's a humid climate, so some
You
of
might
the,
be right both ways.
Yeah. So the wall, I mean, it's buckling and falling down.
Oh my
We got
gosh.
water stains on the roof, in the bathroom, one bulb in the bathroom. And we just kind of, and it's one of those. I didn't see anything scatter,
No.
but you got
know
the
it's
feeling.
there.
Yeah.
You got a feeling that there's eyes on you, and they're little tiny eyes. And I'm like, you know what? We're gonna skip this one. We're gonna go back and just say, you know, and the whole thing is like, how do you tell the clerk, because you're a little bit embarrassed, but at the same time, I'm old enough to know. He's got to know what
yeah.
what he's working with.
For sure.
And it happened exactly the way that I thought it would. I went in and I was like, hey, we're going to pass on this one. He's like, yeah, I get it. and so we just loaded up and headed on down the road to the next town.
You went to a nicer hotel called Bates, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't have any fear of humans doing things to us.
Yeah.
It was all things that could go unseen, you know?
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the scariest
Yeah,
one.
Yeah.
that's the ones you can't see. Oh,
Absolutely.
man.
So anyway,
this-
that's my worst experience.
I've ran the same gamut as you. Like, we lived in a hotel. I've stayed at really nice
Yeah.
hotels. I've stayed at really terrible hotels. When I was driving back from New York to go on with the terrible hotel experience, I had been driving it was solo. Like, I had gone to pick up a vehicle from my grandparents, and I was driving it back by myself. I was exhausted. Like, I had been driving for way more hours than would be safe to. And I found one online, and I had booked it ahead of time. So, like, you know, I made like a pit stop or whatever. I knew I was coming up to a town, so I went ahead and just booked it. And I got in there, and I got the key. And it was very similar to kind of what you're talking about. Not like a lot of details, but I walked in, and I was just like, so tired. I couldn't believe that like this was the hotel, and I was just like, nope, I'm not doing it. And I went back, but see, I had a different experience. I went back,
Okay.
and the person at the register wanted to argue.
Oh no!
About it, and I was so done, and I had already like booked a different one for much that was way too expensive, but like I knew it was gonna be at least nice, and I was just like whatever, and I just tossed the key on the counter and I left.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I ate it because I just was not in the position to go 10 rounds. With this clerk, but
that's the tricky thing with hotels. Like when you look online and they take the nice pictures, it's kind of like when you're selling your house. Like they take it from a good angle and like they've got the nice lights. And, yeah, exactly.
Room,
and you get there and you're like, this is not what the picture promised me.
It's not room 203, it's room 666. Nobody wants to stay in that one.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
There's
I know.
something floating in the pool. Face down.
room 237.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if I want to do that. I know me and Charity. Well, I'll tell one. You probably got one of your own, but
I've got plenty.
Charity's had her share of hotels too. But I know one. Me and Charity were actually staying at one. We were kind of having our little writers things. We were like, let's get a hotel. We're just gonna spend the weekend just writing and we're writing a script for something.
Writer's retreat. I guess.
A writer's retreat. Yeah, retreat and quotes, heavy quotes.
Now this is a doors inside hotel or a doors outside motel, because that's the distinction was. Mine was the motel, and you never. That's going to be a roll of the dice.
Here's the thing: it's weird because it listed as hotel, but we did have an outside door.
Oh yeah.
So
they tricked you.
But the thing is that it was labeled as kind of nice. It was almost like mini apartment, but it was labeled as a hotel. So we're like, okay, So we get into the first room. And it looked quite nice in there. We're like, okay, good. But we've always learned to check the beds.
Pull back the covers.
Pull back the covers and see what might not be there.
Yeah.
So me and Cherry lifted the covers, and the sheets were full of dog hair.
Ugh.
Covered. And it it was like golden retriever dog hair, so it's had like this dark, brownish.
So clearly
color
had not been changed.
Well, and it's white
they made the bed on top of it, so we wouldn't see it.
It was like crisp, clean.
You took off the fitted sheets. You were looking at the mattress.
Well, no,
we just took the comforter off.
We were going to, because that's what we normally do. We just pulled the blanket back, and it was almost like someone had a dog. Yeah, like gross. It wasn't just like, there was a few hair covered in dog hair. And then whoever did it just made the blanket, and I was like, did you not think we were going to pull back? We sleep in here. Like, we're going to see it.
Yeah.
Gross. Yeah. That's pretty aggressive.
It was, I think that was one of the few times where I was like, and I don't get upset that easily, but that was one of those where I was like, you have got
because
to be
it's impossible to miss. You've got brown hair, tons of brown hair on a white sheet on a freshly made bed, which means that they didn't change the sheets and they just made the bed on top of it and thought that we were dumb enough that apparently we're going to sleep on top of the comforter and like not look, I was just like, that's someone did that on purpose.
Yeah. So I mean, now thankfully we told them the problem and they honored it and they actually gave us an upgrade.
Nice.
For a room.
Yeah, without dog hair.
Without dog hair.
Well, that's
so I'm glad about that, but it was just that initial thing that whoever the person was just neglected that and just covered it up as if we weren't going to notice. It was just one of those things.
Yeah.
So that was one of our most interesting, at least in recent years. I know you're going to do your Super 8 story.
Oh, I've worked in hotels and I've stayed in a ton of hotels and motels, so I have tons of stories. So a couple years ago, I had to have surgery, and at the time I was still living with my parents, and so I was, I guess typical living in the basement. And so after surgery, I couldn't hardly walk, so I couldn't go up and down the stairs, and I was like, okay, I need to be in a place where it's all level, and I need to be in a place where I can take care of myself because all my family were out. So I was like, well, I guess I can just find a hotel that's kind of near the house so my family can check on me if they need to. So I stayed at Smitherton's Hotel. And so I'm like fresh out of surgery. I was in the hospital for about 4 days and then they let me go home. So anyway, first night I'm laying in the bed, just recovering, I guess. And this couple next door is having majorly loud sex. Like I don't know.
I think you've mentioned this
probably
before.
like it, and I guess however the rooms were formed, like whatever my headboard was where their headboard was. And these are thin walls, so I'm hearing chink chink chink, and I'm like I can't move. Like I'm literally just standing there, and like they went over and over and over again. So like for a good half the night, I'm like, take a snack break, something. And I'm sitting there listening. I'm like, I can hardly walk, and so I have to sit there and listen to them have sex for like hours.
When there was a lull, you should have started clapping. Let them know.
Encore. No. Author.
So not to leave it on just the negative things. I
Yes,
have a funny
let's
one.
turn
So
it around.
when I was in high school for spring break one year, me and 3 of my friends drove to San Diego, or Los Angeles, but we started in San Diego. We were just going to hang out and skateboard. We always wanted to go to California and check it out and stuff like that. I don't know why my parents let us do this. It was a terrible idea to let one of my friends was in college, but the rest of us were all in high school, like seniors in high school.
Yeah.
So, we were, I think, at 18 at the time, or just turned 18, or getting ready to. Either way, we got there. We did, we spent this like whole week basically, or getting close to a week, and then we started running out of money. And it was,
yes.
So we're driving back. We were in Los Angeles, and we started heading back toward Kansas, but we were going through Las Vegas and stuff first. So we were on kind of that direction there, and we decided to stop for a hotel. We didn't have a ton of money, and the hotel wanted to charge by the amount of people that were in the room, right? Not like just like a room with like us 1 or 2 beds. So we were like, okay, two of us, my friends hid in the car. And then me and my friend went up to the counter, and we were like, we just need 2 bedrooms, for 2 people. And the guy was kind of like, sure, whatever. So yeah. So then we backed the car up to the room because it was an outdoor, door room or whatever. Opened the hatchback, and then my 2 friends ran in really quick.
Oh, yes.
And then we had to, bring everything in. But we were just like so broke at that point. We barely had enough money for gas. We were just like, it was either sleep in the car or fib our way through a hotel room. So.
Yeah.
That's right. There was a podcast episode you talked about. That episode is titled Older and Miser. I don't remember the number, but the title's called Older and Miser.
Gosh, you were like a database. I don't see how you remember.
I know. I don't
all of
remember that
these.
either. Okay, so you've all heard this before.
Well,
so, cool.
it was our episode about it was an episode about graduation, I think, because we were talking about you were talking about graduation stories, and we were like, why don't you just get more money? And then you were teaching us about all we had to do was just get more
Well,
money.
I think of like if there's security cameras too, if it's a decent-ish hotel motel,
Surely
like
they
they're
would've
gonna
saw.
see like
It definitely wasn't a
6
decent-ish
teens
hotel
popping out the
motel.
back like a clown car.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we want to do some nicer stories. I will say, thankfully, me and Charity have stayed at some nicer hotels.
Atlanta, we had a
Yes. In 2014, the 20th anniversary for Turner Classic Movies, me and Charity got to go on the TCM set, went to the CNN building and all that kind of cool stuff. They took us, or they actually paid for our room and board. So they took us, I think the hotel was called the W. I think it was what it was called. That's probably the nicest hotel I have ever been in.
It's the kind where there's like snacks and like booze in the fridge and like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And like the shower is its own room kind of thing. Like, I enjoyed that so much, and you had a beautiful view of the downtown area. Like they treated us
It was
quite
like a
nice.
VIP
That's awesome.
sort of treatment.
Nice.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I could get used to, I could get used to this, getting the star treatment and staying at a high class hotel. Kind of like what Trey was talking about when we were talking about last season about staying at the nice houses and you have really good showers and stuff. You can kind of tell a good hotel by the showers too, because they have like the perfect, kind of like what Trey said, like it looks like a rain style nozzle where it just rains versus just a spigot just spraying.
I know. Last year at a hotel we stayed at, we didn't even shower. Like we opened the door, we were like, nope, we're gonna wait because we were going to the Turner Classic Movies cruise, and we were like, you know what, we'll just shower on the boat.
Yeah.
You get dirtier in the shower.
Yes,
than you
exactly.
actually
We were
take it
like,
on.
this is disgusting.
Yeah, we were like, we'll shower when we get on the boat. Cause I'm like, this ain't good.
Well, and although it's not necessarily a hotel, but the Disney cruise ship has very nice rooms.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so
Yes.
they have, I don't know where they get their pillows from. It's probably
from heaven, because that's the softest pillow.
Yeah, best pillows. Their blankets are nice, and like even the couch. Like I don't know. It was just like it's a small room, or we ordered the small room, but like I was like, oh, where can I order these pillows? And they have the soft closing cabinets and drawers, so that way you don't accidentally wake your roommates, And I was like, oh, this.
If
is
you
nice.
want to buy the pillows, take the pillow with you, and then they'll just charge you.
That's right. They worked it out.
Yeah, exactly. So that was like the resort that we stayed at. It was like nice pillows, nice bedding. Had a tub on the balcony that was like super awesome, like facing the ocean, and a fully stocked bar.
Yeah.
I didn't have room for the pillows because I packed all the towels in my suitcase.
Oh, that's
so
what it
I have all my
was.
cute
Okay.
towels at home, right?
A tub on the balcony, huh?
Yeah, it was really fun. It was like kind of one of the features.
Yeah.
It was like a standalone
Oh,
hot tub.
okay.
Not a hot tub, like a bathing tub, but it was like a standalone.
I think my low budget mind. I'm thinking like there's this giant
He's
bathtub.
showering on the balcony.
Yeah.
No, he's not doing that.
No.
Well, I'm just like, okay. I mean, I'm
it's
sure
like
it was.
those. It's like those sandals commercials. Where
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
on the. Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It was the sandals.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. It shows what my mind is at. I'm thinking like a giant tub just hanging off a balcony in a hotel. I'm like, that sounds unsafe, unhygienic, and just
We were
not a
on
good
like
idea.
the second story, so I was actually really curious about the structural integrity because I was sitting there like
Oh.
a tub full of water.
That's a lot
plus
of weight.
2 people. That's a ton of weight.
Hopefully they factored that in.
Hopefully so. He's like, well, it hasn't fallen down yet. So
Yeah. Let's give it a go.
of course the one below us had like it was a swim up room, so it had like a pool. So I was like, well, if we fall, we'll be fine. We're
just
just
fall
gonna
in the
land in water anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully no one's underneath in the pool.
Yeah.
And
And that's their
swimming.
problem.
That's right.
Hey guys, guess what we forgot?
What's that?
It's
What?
double the topics, and
that's
we've
right.
got a few minutes. So it's my turn, and my topic is going to concerts. So we were going to
Concerts.
try to squeeze this in real quick for our double the topic.
Yeah,
So
we got time.
summer concerts. Do you guys have plans for any concerts this year?
I think so.
Where you headed?
Well, last year, I don't know if they have it now because of the tornado that went through Andover, but
Andover.
Andover has that really nice
the
amphitheater, and I
amphitheater.
think that was
Oh.
a part in the path, but I want to check that out.
Yeah, that's a good
We're
point.
also getting it won't be this summer, but one of the things that the county commission has, they have like a 3-phase expansion that's going to happen around the exploration
Place.
place. Yeah, they're going to have
Oh.
an amphitheater that faces the river and the Keeper of the Plains,
Oh,
so
I
that'll
think
be
I heard
really
that.
cool.
Yeah,
That'll be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all just kind of in my head. As far as like concerts to go to, we'll probably go to a couple, but I don't know if we have any on the books.
So if we're still talking about concerts, at least for me, for the bands and groups that I like to listen to, for whatever reason, they seem to tour the Midwest in the fall. So usually when it comes to concerts, it's maybe the earliest is September, but normally it's around my birthday, which is why I
Yeah.
always go to a concert for my birthday. But like October through December is when they seem to come to the Midwest. And I don't know if that's, I don't know, they make more money in the Midwest during Christmas time, or I don't know.
know.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I never thought about that, but I guess maybe that does make sense. I don't know. Admittedly, I've never. I've gone to concerts.
When?
My
What have you been to a concert?
Sarah goes to concerts.
Concerts are more my thing.
Now you're thinking
Well,
of.
it depends. It depends on the concert, though.
Or are you
Yeah.
talking about like tickets? Like, are we going to the Wave? Are we going to
I think
a
it's
theater?
any
Or are you
musical
going to like
function.
public at the Brickyard for the
I-
Friday night act or
Oh, that's
Kirby's?
fun, yeah.
I typically.
Kirby's is great too.
been there.
Oh, it's really good. It's right across from WSU.
Okay.
Oh, Kirby! Yeah, I've never been in. I've passed it.
It's a fun spot.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's open air too.
Oh, that's really nice.
I don't know if I consider that a concert.
Well, that's what I'm. That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to clarify.
But, I mean, Sarah's
'Cause
not
I'll
going
go
to any of
a lot
those.
of venues,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't know what concerts I'll be going to.
I go okay. I don't necessarily go to concerts what people constitute. We're just sitting there yelling and being loud and all that. I don't really do
You're
that.
not a mosh
Enjoying
pit
themselves?
person.
I haven't fully gone into mosh pit mode.
Well, we
to be
went to the
honest.
Symphony together.
I do like going
ago.
to the
So
Symphony Orchestra.
That's a concert.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm that kind of person.
You could do a mosh pit at the Symphony. You just
Yeah.
gotta
That's
start throwing
true.
elbows. As long as one other person joins you, you got a mosh pit going on.
Sitting there jamming to the Barber of Seville. So, but yeah, I kind of like going to orchestras, or I've done a couple operas. One of the most fun concerts I attended. It's been about a decade now. Someone did I'm an interesting person. It was a Benny Goodman tribute band.
Oh, I remember that.
and it was big band. I'm a big fan
I was
of
at the
music.
Orpheum.
That was
Or
Century 2.
Century 2, okay.
2. And the guy he looked like Benny Goodman, who was a famous clarinetist back during the big band era of the 30s and 40s. Not only did he look like him, he played just like him. It was a great.
It's like those Beatles
concert.
tribute
Yeah.
bands.
And you were
Yeah.
like, okay, I
She's
just
like,
saw
"This
the
is
best
my-"
one.
All good.
I'm done.
I mean-
never again.
Granted, I've gone to a lot of big band tribute concerts, and I have been the youngest person in the audience. But I love that kind of music.
Well, the Wichita Symphony did a Bugs Bunny.
Looney Tunes.
Yeah,
yes.
Looney Tunes themed, where they played the cartoon on the screen and then they just turned the sound off. Because it was the one where
yeah.
Bugs Bunny was directing.
It was the Rabbit of Seville.
Yeah, he was
Right.
directing
and
the
all
concert, and so they turned the sound off, and then they just played the music that had went underneath it,
Which was
in like
awesome.
perfect timing to the cartoon, and so that was really fun. That was, gosh, I want to say that was like maybe 2010 or something. It was a long time
it's
ago.
been about 8 9 years ago. It's been a bit. I would love for them to do that again. But those are the kind of concerts I enjoyed.
Yeah, my wife and I were starting to go back to more concerts. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the topic, for years we had done more amphitheaters because they're family friendly. You can kind of picnic and listen to a good show, and kids can run around.
Botanica has one of
like
those.
That.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're getting pretty excited because we've been to starting this year. We've been to more concerts than we have since the girls have been born.
Nice.
So,
oh, fun. Well, the girls are older now, so they could probably
and they're wanting to
hang
go
out
too.
and appreciate. Yeah.
I need to get more proactive because I've missed so far. Like I've found out about concerts either right when they're happening or after the fact, or they're just slightly too far away. Like Tenacious D was in Kansas City, and I would have wanted to go see that. Mm-hmm. And then there's a concert coming up in Nebraska and like Omaha. That's it's a Death Clock, which is like a fake band from a TV show called Metalocalypse that I really want to go see.
That's
interesting. It's slightly too far away. It's actually really fun because the band is animated, so they do like a Gorillaz thing where the actual people perform behind a screen, and then they have like the animated people like playing.
It's like
actually kind of like the sound of that.
Yeah, you would really like it. It's heavy metal.
Yeah.
That's my kind of music. Not like orchestra and heavy metal put the two together.
Maybe it's because you're not on social media that much.
It's probably what it is, because I'm not on social media at all.
The main place they
well, heck, Dan, you need to get with the program and start joining all the different podcast platforms.
I guess so.
And speaking of podcast platforms, Sarah.
What a segue. I guess that's a good way to say it.
What podcast platforms are there?
Well, Dan, I'm glad you asked. If you were on social media, you would know that we're available on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Double Stuff Podcast. And all of our newest episodes are on all the different platforms. Check us out on our website, Dan, at Double Stuff Pod, doublestuffpod.com. And of course on Twitter at Double Stuff P, and that's the letter P.
Yeah, Dan.
Yeah, Dan.